right down this ridge, about 150, 200 yards. So we're gonna try and get up, pick a good vantage point, sit. If it sounds like he's coming, stay. Otherwise, try calling. He's out. He's got to only be about 100 yards away. They might just naturally come this way. Yeah. I see a deer. He's out that way. Like through the pines. Let me look at the Onyx map so I can see what's over there. He's probably in that little opening right there. I faintly heard another gobble way out there again. Yeah, let's go that way. Let's just go sit up by this high point. I can see one more walking down there. Just in case it hasn't spooked yet, let's slowly get back in there. And I'm assuming they're already gone, but just in case, I'll be ready. We came into this area that historically I know turkeys use. And we got to a certain point. I did a little calling sequence, some yelping, some cutting. Listened, nothing. So we kept on going in and didn't go 20 more steps. And a bird flew off just across the other side of the knob we were on. So that bird is long gone. As we kind of crept forward, I could see another turkey down in the woods, maybe 80 yards or so. Super thick. Couldn't really tell what it was, if it was a hen or a tom. Sat up against a big tree, got some good back cover. And so we'll probably sit here for 45 minutes, hour, and just blind call. Hopefully something will come in. It was up on the hillside straight ahead of us. No, I was there right now. Where is that? It feels like I've been in this scenario plenty of times before. After not hearing those birds fly up last night, I didn't have confidence going back into that same spot this morning. So I went into this area that I've hunted in, plenty of times years past. There's lots of turkeys back here. The problem is, a lot of these birds like to roost along this private land out in front of me. And oftentimes their strategy is to basically just fly down and they'll go, mill around the private land. But eventually I think sometimes some of them fly over here. And generally speaking, when I try and call them over, it doesn't work out. But with the number of birds gobbling over there this morning, there was at least 2 gobbling a little bit off to my right in a known roosting spot, perpetual every year. They like to roost over there. And then there was other birds in spot that's actually public. I could go in there tomorrow on the roost. But there's at least probably 1 gobbler and a jake for sure, maybe 2 gobblers or 2 toms in that group. And I just figured, if I just aggressive call, maybe I can call one of those other birds over here in case the main gobbler he's end up. Maybe I can get one of those other birds to break off from the group and fly over. And nothing's coming yet. The woods have quieted down. They've stopped gobbling. But I'm not going to give up. I'm just going to move up into these woods, probably about another 150 yards. And then I'll pick a good setup, good cover, stick my decoy out in that open hardwoods, and just sit there and do some blind calling sequences for probably like 3-4 hours. Just had 1 lone hen come through, probably about 40-50 yards. That 1 gobbler, he's been gobbling pretty regularly still, but he's definitely sounding like he's still kind of in that same area on that private. I'm not just hearing that bird, there's also a few other gobblers there with him, it sounds like. And if they are going to fly to the side of the river, they're doing it again. If they are going to fly to the side of the river, they're going to fly further down, kind of where I started out this morning, or even further potentially. If I'm banking on those birds coming over here and not other birds coming from like behind me, then I'd probably actually be better off moving back towards kind of where I started off this morning. Well, what do you know, that plan actually worked. Wasn't definitely one of those toms that was across the river, but once I came to move into this spot, I set my decoy up and just sat here up against this tree and just called, and I said, okay, look at my clock. So I'm not going to do anything until a little bit after 9 probably. And then about 8:40, I just did that one last calling sequence. And you can see how thick it is behind me, where there's all this deadfall and stuff. I could hear scratching. I got the gun ready, and you can tell I'm using my wife's 20 gauge. It's a Mossberg 510 Mini, and it is really nice for those awkward positions where I pretty much was cranked around trying to hold that gun steady for a couple minutes, it seemed like. And having a nice little gun like that definitely makes that easier. Well, finally, I could see that one of those red heads popping through that deadfall, and there's 2 of them. And it looked like they were going to keep coming and get out and probably get to that decoy, but there was something I didn't like. I started putting, and I wasn't sure if it was me that they saw because the sun's shining off me, but I really wanted to be able to face this direction, or if it was just that decoy they didn't like. But at this point, it was just like heads appearing and disappearing, appearing and disappearing. So it's kind of one of those now or never type of moments where I'm like, okay, well, next time I see a head, I saw that head pop through in the deadfall, and I put the red dot on and just squeezed the trigger. So definitely pretty pumped. This is my C tag for Wisconsin. I'll probably hunt in my D tag with chain potentially in a different unit in Wisconsin. And then E, I'll be back here in this unit, and then F is undecided. I'm not necessarily against shooting jakes. I've done it before. I probably will do it again in the future. There's still plenty of gobblers out here. There's a lot of public land. I haven't seen hardly any hunters. I'll be able to come back out here and try and shoot one of those toms. Definitely pretty excited. Got some more fresh meat to put in the freezer.